to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and the guys are all here. And I think Damon's girlfriend is on with him as well. Um, Damon, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Are you here?
Sorta.
Okay, all right, okay. Are you in the 606 region?
Yes, I'm actually currently passing Halsted on uh, I-57.
Okay, okay, all right, cool. I know it well. Med, you can relax. How are you, Ahmed? How are you?
I'm doing great, Sybil. Doing wonderful. We are made it to another week,
Hmm.
and look forward to all the wonderful things to talk about on today.
Awesome, awesome. We made it to another week, another
Yeah,
day.
we
And
did.
young
Yeah.
Cameron, how are you?
Oh, this week's going really well. I'm doing splendid today. Doing splendid.
Excellent, excellent. To
Great
what do
word, Cam.
Oh, thank you.
to what do you attribute this splendiferous day or splendiferous feeling?
Um, I'm just feeling like it's a better week than last week. That's good
Okay,
enough for me for
okay,
now.
all right.
That's great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. We've had Chamber of Commerce weather here today. It was positively gorgeous.
Ah,
Mm.
Very few clouds in the sky, blue sky, sun out. Little chilly this morning, but man, by this afternoon, I'm driving home and it's like 82 degrees. It's like,
Perfect.
it was great.
nice
Yeah,
day. Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
absolutely great. Oh,
yes.
today they celebrated it was 50s day at my son's school today.
Oh, Spirit Day.
50s day. I don't know who's part of the
Oh
planning
my,
committee, but it did 50s day today at my son's school. I was telling a friend of mine that he goes, "You live in Conyers, Georgia. Tell him not to go to school because in the 50s he wasn't really welcome at that school."
okay,
And
okay.
make sure he carries a water bottle because he can't for sure can't use the water
What is that
fountain.
water fountain?
Somebody called Miss Jane Pittman.
I was like, 50s day, okay. But then I picked them up and
Wow.
they had a sock hop. A
A
sock hop.
sock hop.
I was like, we really still doing this? I'm like, I'm so used to seeing people doing 2000s. We still kicking it to the 50s, huh? All right,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
I
All right.
ain't mad
Throwing
at
it
it.
all the way
The
back.
poodle skirts and all that was in effect today.
Did you process his hair?
Absolutely not. We're not gonna do that. Oh
Did he,
no.
did he go as Chuck Berry? Did
Right.
he walk all the way?
I hear like the Temptations.
Right,
Uh-uh.
right, right,
Yeah, put
Absolutely not.
that conch.
right,
Right.
right.
Yeah, got to conk the hair.
Was that
Put
scene?
put that put it around his put
Yeah,
the bandana around his hair.
yeah.
Almost did that though. That would have been funny.
No, we don't want that for young Ahmed. No, no, we don't want that. We don't want that for Junior.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Yeah, no, we don't.
No, no,
At all.
absolutely not. Well, it sounds like a good time was had by all. Damon, where you headed?
To the Bulls game. My son and my grandson and I are going to see the Bulls preseason game. My son called me upset. He wanted to take him, and he invited me along. So there we have it.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
nice. That's
Oh,
very cool.
Being a good uncle he is.
Man.
That is so
I miss
awesome.
the UC, the United Center. I enjoyed going to the games there.
I
Yeah, it's nothing
remember
like it.
it. Yeah, well, especially during the championship years. Whew. Um,
Woo!
yeah.
I never got to be. I wasn't going to the games back then. I went to the games. I got lucky enough to start covering the Bulls in radio.
Oh, right.
Derrick Rose's first year, and
Oh,
Oh,
that was
cool.
a good time.
when I
Yeah,
when I
good
when I
times.
started covering the Bulls, I was in there for 3 years. After a lot of the games in the locker room with Derrick Rose, Joe Kim, and meeting the guys, getting to know the guys, and that was a very fun time, especially his
That it was.
MVP year. Jimmy Butler, when nobody knew who he was, and he was just
Right.
sitting there at the first locker, and no one talked to him. Nobody in the beginning because he
Wow.
wasn't playing. to see him now it's hilarious.
Man. Oh, Jimmy Buckets. I remember. No, you don't.
Yeah, no one can say that.
No, you don't. No,
absolutely
no,
not.
you don't. No,
Absolutely.
you don't. Oh, wow. That is something.
I actually missed the old Chicago Stadium days.
Yeah. I remember those days too.
The Madhouse on Madison.
That's right.
Madhouse.
Yeah.
Madison.
Yep. Those are the
We're a
days you can
national
walk
show.
up
I'm sorry.
and
We're doing it
practically
again.
get it 2 for 1 for
Yeah, we are
tickets.
doing it again.
We're doing it again. We're doing the Chicago thing again. We got to stop.
I like it. I like it.
Yogi is reeling.
Yogi's losing her mind right now.
Sorry. We're talking the international game of basketball. How's that?
Right.
All right, let's move to something a little bit more local. How about National Jamaican Heroes Day, young Khameron? That is your story in today's newsletter, talking about those Jamaican heroes. I was really interested and intrigued by the people that you mentioned in your newsletter story, talking about it, and especially, is it Queen Nanny? Nani. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So Khameron wrote this great story about Monday being Jamaican Heroes Day, and told about the people who were among those first declared some of the heroes of the island nation.
Oh, yeah. So October 16th, or just the third Tuesday of any October, is Jamaican Heroes Day. And this is when they celebrate contemporary heroes, as well as honor like the first 7 heroes that they've honored, which I would consider like their Mount Rushmore of heroes. And they take this quite seriously. All of the youth gather in Heroes Park in Jamaica to not only pay their respects to the contemporaries and the past, but also just try to aspire to have those kind of qualities that those heroes had. And I learned a lot too. I did not know that Marcus Garvey was considered one of those heroes, just for his work in the Pan-African and Civil Rights movement. There are 2 Baptist preachers on there as well, but the most interesting one that I found was like the Caribbean's own Harriet Tubman, really. Though instead of a rifle, her weapon of choice was a machete. Her name was, she was considered Queen Nani of the Maroons, and she was an Ashanti woman who fought for and freed over 1,000 enslaved Africans. Not only did Jamaica declare her a hero in 1975, but she's also on the Jamaican $500 bill.
That's a lot better than Harriet's gotten.
Yeah, that is a lot better.
Still working on that 20
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still working on that 20.
Yeah.
Well, that $500 bill is probably only worth 47 cents.
Hey, like $5.
But
$5. Because I remember as a child going to Jamaica, and I think we went to the KFC when I was a kid in Jamaica, and I remember looking at the prices I was like, what is that?
Right.
$1,100 for a bucket of chicken?
Take me back to the South Side quick. I'm sorry, that was Chicago reference.
On? No, but the funny thing is, like, my uncle, I have 2 uncles on my mom's side. One's name is Norman, and another one's name is Manley. Obviously, for you know what I'm saying, and it was when I remember hearing about Norman Manley, and then like Marcus Garvey in Kingston, they have a Marcus Garvey Park in Kingston that I've been to. You got to watch your belongings, but still, as where Bend-Down Market is, and there's a lot of great historical areas in that Marcus Garvey Park area. So I really enjoyed going to those places and learning about some of the historic heroes of Jamaica. Because, like I said, when I did some digging when I was younger, especially trying to understand my history, to see the difference in the slave trade when it came down to Jamaica and how they dealt with their situation down there compared to how it was up here. Because up here, you could run to the north, escape to the north. There was no escaping to your island. There's nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Some try to, get on a boat and leave, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't really make it that far. So, when it came to the uprising in Jamaica, it was literally we're fighting to either survive or die. That was the mentality back then.
Wow. Cameron, do we know why it's October 16th or the first Monday or the third Monday rather of the month?
You know, I don't, and that could possibly be just because that's when the first Heroes Day came about, and they just kept it a thing annually. But you know, that's also worth digging into. And Ned, to your point about your uncles, one named Norman and one named Manley, named after Norman Washington Manley, who's like a famous scholar and a lawyer, and did a lot of work in like the public education sector in Jamaica.
I think it's really cool that you got, you know, parks and schools and all of that. I mean, we have that certainly, but you know, I mean, I think it's pretty cool driving down Jean Point du Sable Lakeshore Drive. So anytime we can bring those up and talk about the heroes in our communities, I think it's awesome.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know, sometimes you don't understand. I went years without knowing Marcus Garvey was Jamaican. You know,
right.
I had no idea until I was in high school when I found that out. I'm like, really? All this time I've been hearing about Marcus Garvey and did not know he came from the island.
Right.
So, you know, it's understanding the history of some of our, like, there's more history to some of our leaders here in America, and understanding where they actually come from.
Yeah, and the fact that he wanted to go back to Africa and not, you know, and not just take folks back to Jamaica like we do now.
Hey, at least you know you're from Jamaica.
Okay. I'm from an island, but it's stony.
That is true, and I've always taken pride in that. At least I knew a little bit about, because the thing is, the same issues that we have in Jamaica, the same issues we have here of knowing our history. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to Jamaica, it's even more disjointed between, you know, you have like the Indian background in Jamaica, the Asian, it is very diverse when it comes to the amount of people where they come from. So, you know, you
telling me that I got Indian in my family is also a statement in Jamaica?
I mean, I think they call him Coolie. My grandfather, if you met my grandfather, you would think he was an Indian man. You know, when you talk about Kamala Harris and her dad being Indian or her mother being
her mom,
yeah, and she was probably in Jamaica because there's a lot of Indians in Jamaica. Like back in the day, there was just a lot of them. So it is what it is.
Well, you are expanding our cultural knowledge there, Khameron. Last week we were talking about the indigenous people and Black folks, and now we're talking about the island of Jamaica. And thank you for that. Those are types of stories you're going to find on the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday newsletter. We have young contributors like Khameron, who covers politics. His younger sister, Quinn Townsend Riley, is our LGBTQ plus contributor. And there is Coy Malone. She is our social justice contributor, and Aprilette Russell is our mental health and wellness contributor. So check them all out. We'd love to have you subscribe to the What You Need to Know newsletter. It is absolutely free. Just go to SybilWilkes.com, take a chance on us, and I think you'll enjoy it. You hear stories like this, and you can hear, and thanks to some great technical wizardry, we take portions of our stories and put them so people can get a sense of what's in the newsletter by listening. Because there's some people, hello, J. Anthony Brown, who don't read. And so we would like to, you know, give them the opportunity to hear what we've got in the newsletter. And also, we have Little Known Black History Fact, as well as the HBCU Corner, and a bunch of other things. But we give you a birthday shout out if you like. If you tell us when your birthday is, that is, we just can't guess. And then, you know, just
we make it up if we need to. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. And you know, sometimes people see it in the newsletter and they call and they say, thanks for the shout out. And sometimes
cool.
like, I miss hearing my name on the radio. Well, you got a chance to see it in writing there. So we appreciate you joining us. So SybilWilkes.com, it's free. And if you're having issues and you find that you're not getting your newsletter, please check your spam or your junk folder and make make that correction there and get it back into your regular newsletter folder and a regular email folder. And if it is, call Chica and tell her you're having a problem and see if she can.
And let me just say this, please figure it out. Make sure you do get it because there's a lot of work that goes into them. I'm going to say that right now. A lot of work.
That's true.
A lot of work goes into those bad boys. So please.
Absolutely. Thank you
open
for that.
up your email.
And not just subscribe, but when you receive it, please open sesame.
We just got to get a Pulitzer and everyone will subscribe. It's no big deal.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. I like the way you're thinking,
That's
young
right,
man.
man. 5 a.m. like clockwork or 6 a.m. on the East. I don't know. It was one of those things. I knew it hit every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And it's good work. We had a suggestion of a what's really going on question, and it was at Med's notation that Sexy Red is pregnant, and she's going. And one of us asked, who is Sexy Red? And Damon gave an example of her lyrics.
She does the color song.
She does the color song. Yeah.
It's very colorful.
One part of her lower extremity is pink. The other part is brown. Or the front is pink. The back is brown. And then there was a thought that perhaps she didn't have enough of her father in her life. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But it did engender a question. Okay, so here's the question. Gentlemen, what is that one piece of advice you want to give to your daughters, or in some of your cases to your nieces, if you don't yet have daughters, or a younger cousin, Khameron, that you from your years of experience, from your wealth of experience, and we're opening this up to folks that are watching and listening today. What is that one piece of advice you would give to your young daughter or younger daughter, or to your niece? Or what's the action? What's the action? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking that. I saw a gentleman on Sherry Shepherd's show the other day, and his gift to his daughters is to show them the expectations they should have in their lives. With what men do for them, how men treat them. And so he's treating them and raising their level of expectation with everything he does, everything that he exposes them to through travel or even at home. That they have come to a point where they're like, yeah, I don't need to be dealing with the zero because I know better. I've been treated much better than this. So think about that. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. I would tell them, look, if he can only pay one bill, but he treats you right, give him a chance.
And get him a second job.
I was channeling Tyler Perry. The billionaire telling women to go ahead and give the guy who can pay one light bill a chance. I would honestly say is find the person that makes you feel like the most important person in their life. That's the best advice I could give you, because at the end of the day, when you're going through situations, if things aren't as happy and great as it can be, that person will still treat you as the most important person in their life. They'll still open up that tight jar, even if they don't want to see your face, and they get back to you. But they still want to take care of you.
So that could be a dude in jail. So listen, a dude in jail will make your daughter feel so special right now.
Watch this.
Here's my jump in. Avoid those grand rising, ashe, sweet talking dudes that hit you with grand rising queen. I feel like our souls met in a previous life when we were on the Nile. Drinking eucalyptus juice together. Basically, people like, Common. No disrespect to Common, that's my man, but his relationships are very temporary, but he's a very deep spiritual, sage burning, deep, they'll get you naked right quick with the beautiful words. So watch out for them dudes that speak.
You don't hear the exes complain about him too much. You got a lot of them.
I didn't say there was nothing wrong with the brother. I'm saying like common.
And by the
Guys
time
that speak in common. You know that Ashe Queen Grand Rising. Yes. We must bow down to the Most High. You bow lower. Ashe.
and watch her sash away.
Right.
Khameron, you are the lone male in your family of sisters, and you have younger cousins, I know. But what is that one piece of advice you would like to give to perhaps to your sisters or another younger female relative about men?
Oh, geez. This is so hard.
Okay, you keep thinking about it, because I did want to. I forgot about this. The one thing that I've always loved about Chris Rock is in raising daughters. He said his one job is to keep his daughters off the pole.
Mm-hmm.
And so that always struck me. I never had that conversation with my dad, because this wasn't a conversation that
he needed to have with you.
Yeah. When
and,
7 or 8. Yeah.
And the pole wasn't as lucrative back then.
That's true. That's very true.
Nowadays, you might want to give her. You got 2 years on that pole.
2 good ones, and then then it's back to high school. But it's really. I had a friend whose daughter worked in a strip club, and he had us convinced that she had told him she was working the bar in high school.
Well, there you go. That's double illegal.
Yeah.
Beauty school dropout.
Right. Yeah, speaking of the 50s. So what about those responsibilities that you may have for your young ones, your daughters, your nieces, your cousins, or your sisters in your case, Cam?
I open myself up to just demystifying the male species for my sisters often. The reason why it's so hard is just all that I have read about just queer theory and feminist literature. But I would say to my daughter, just fall in love with your ambitions first. And then the right partner will meet you where you're at later.
Right.
And he won't be saying Grand Rising Queen or anything like that.
I remember being in a bar with a friend of mine, and I was in Chicago, and Common was performing in this nice club, and he came up and was talking to my girlfriend, and he said, "I'll be right back. I've got to perform." And like, okay, so he's like, "Is he just gonna keep talking, or does he know why we're here?" It's like, so I got nothing.
Did he have the doily on at the time? Did he have the doily?
No, he did not. No.
And that was the time too. And I also blame Erykah Badu for some of the eclectic men in the industry.
She is notorious for transforming a lot of them. 3000 as well.
Yeah, Dre 3000 was what he was butt naked in chaps with football pads.
He called himself an alien. Yeah.
If someone would like to call in or to text in who is representing Erykah, we'd love to hear from you.
We sure would.
And let's look. Me being from Chicago, let's not dwell on Common as the example of that, but he has the poetic voice. That's all.
Yes.
And you'd like to get in on that second half of the Shy. I know.
That's my man's though. All day.
I know that's right.
I know. I used to tell nieces, "Hey, don't date athletes." My little cousins, everything. I'm like, don't look. I'm like, if you want to, you want the thrill, go right ahead. But understand what you're getting into, and understand the lifestyle that they're leading. And I'm not saying they're all bad, but understand what you're getting. But especially
in that case, you got to tell her, don't date the UPS man, the FedEx man.
No. Look,
every industry got their own little fan base. Trust me.
Yes, you're absolutely right. but on an athletic level, or even like entertainment level, if you will, they just have a little bit more. Well, the UPS man does have access to a lot of.
And he get to wear them little hoochie daddy shorts.
There's some I've seen some really
what summers
fit
are for.
UPS dudes.
I thought about it for a second. I'm like, yes, right. He doesn't.
Door to door.
Door to door.
What can Brown do for you?
Deliver. Brown can
Brown, huh?
Deliver, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would also say that
hold on, go back to that.
No, hang on a
just as
second. Go ahead,
a
Cameron.
general principle, I would also say that a man is never not sure. Men are always sure. Within the first few,
Really?
within just after the first date, a guy knows if he's going to progress the relationship or not.
No.
It's never
A guy knows a few things. He knows if he's going to pursue a real relationship. He knows if he's going to pursue a situationship with you.
Yeah.
He
Off
also
the bat.
knows if he's kicking you to the curb, usually after the first date. He gets that vibe pretty quick. He doesn't need that much time to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Damon, you agree?
It's been so long, Sybil. I don't remember.
I thought you were going to see. It seems just like yesterday.
No, because honestly, when Juanita and I first started dating, I did not see her as someone that I was going to be serious with. And then we parted ways. I got married, had kid and everything, and then I realized that was somebody I really did want to be when I went back and got her. So sometimes your first instinct is not always the correct one, but a lot of times, a lot of times you do have an instinctive feeling the crazy ones ain't gonna make it. I know that.
And Damon,
you know that by dessert.
Tell us one of the crazy one stories at some point. Let's go to Barbara. Yolanda, you had her message. Marry for money and get your honey later. Come on now, Barbara.
Sure.
See?
Yeah.
Hey.
Come on. Marry for money and get your honey later. Okay.
That's called learn to love him.
Right. Let them grow on you.
Right.
Oh, there's no real struggle there. Today's generation doesn't listen to anybody except their peers, says C.M. Williams.
That's all generations. I truly believe this. And it took my best friend to kind of break this down to me. He's like, at a certain age, you stop learning from your parents and you learn from your friend circle. He's like, you'll gain right into maybe that 12, 13. Now, all of a sudden, your circle of friends, that's where all the information is getting passed off on. That's where you're learning from. And that's why it's so important for parents to not just, you want your kids to have friends, but you need to monitor who their friends are, because they are the people that are influencing your children the most, more so than you. Their friends are influencing them because they're trying to keep their friends and they're trying to impress their friends any way they know how.
And
so
that's why his son went to the 50s day dance. He
Yes.
went to the sock hop.
He went to the sock hop. He went to the sock hop today.
Did he wear the turned up dungarees and a
Yes, he did.
leather
And
jacket?
I told my wife to put the cigarette box. And he had it rolled up. I'm like, where's the cigarette box? She's like, I'm not putting no cigarette box in our 8-year-old shirt. I'm like, if we gonna do this, we gonna do this.
Plus cigarettes cost $20. That's a very expensive crop.
Do they still have the cigarette candy, the gum?
Yeah, yeah. We should have found that. Give him
That's
that.
funny. That's funny. But I think you make a good point that whatever advice we're given to young people, it's probably going in, one ear and coming out the other, and that maybe we should be talking to their friends and then pass it on to our young people, our own family.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Barcloud on YouTube says, "What advice would you give your son, or have you given to your son?" This is applicable to Damon and to Med, and to you, Khameron. Because we kind of talked about this last week. You talked about the advice your dad gave you. But what about to your son? Med, and your son is 8?
He's 8. And my main thing with my son nowadays is understanding, is the fact that friends. like my son thinks everybody's his friend. He thinks he can be nice to everybody. He thinks everybody he's oblivious to like, mean people, or like he can have a moment with somebody and then within 5 minutes he's like, all right, let's go play. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand like that part. So it's very hard for me to have to tell him, hey man, he's a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to sometimes explain, because I'll watch him interact with other kids. And I'm just like, you can't. I'm like, you just can't. Like, and not everybody is eager to go play, eager to talk, and like not everyone's built like that. And I have to. And it's really hard to have that conversation with him because he wants to. He looks at like, the best in everybody. Oh, he's not that bad. I'm like, son. A lot of crazy people in this world and a lot of idiots. I have to dampen.
And a lot of jerks.
And a lot of jerks. You know what I'm saying? And we have to figure out, the personality of a jerk so you don't, get attached to them. So
wow.
It's literally about friendships and how to deal with people who are not that nice to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Manuel Murphy, and I'm coming back to you, Cam, said the best advice I got from my dad, if you have to think about it, don't. Ooh.
I mean, that's real.
That is real. Khameron, what about you? Thinking about the advice you would give to perhaps the best advice young Khameron got, or that you would give to your young cousins?
I would say be a man who stands for something, be a man who's gentle, and be a man who never stops learning.
Wow, that's great. That's pretty cool. That's really good.
I think the best advice I gave my son was relationship advice. Was if you go downtown, she'll never leave you. Okay.
And if you take your Marshall Fields credit card, I promise she'll never leave. Yeah.
Nice cleanup. Marshall Fields.
Oh gosh.
Woo,
okay.
You shared that with your son, did you?
He's married now.
He is, yeah.
And will you share that with your grandson?
Absolutely. When the time is right.
Right around that bar mitzvah. Now, the best advice I heard in that one movie with Chris Rock is I've seen a lot of men lose money chasing women, but I've never seen a man lose women chasing money.
Okay.
Such as.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good
That's
stuff
true.
too. Absolutely.
Until you get married and they say that you're working too much.
But if you got that bread, she ain't going nowhere.
That's true. That's true.
Really?
Look at Jada.
That's going to be a conversation for another day. I promise you.
Wow, you don't want to have it with us?
I do. No. Another day with you guys, because now we're kind of down to the
that's
wire.
a whole day.
And it takes time. I will just say this. I am really surprised at the amount of venom that is spewed at this woman. Are you?
I am, because I believe that Will is a villain.
That's what everybody is saying. Yep.
Will created this whole thing. He created the image and everything, and so he is just reaping what he sowed when it came to this relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are a lot of things that Will has said that didn't catch any media backlash.
Yep.
Jada has also said that now catches media backlash. Yeah. So it's just the way just like the patriarchy views scandalous women or whatever, it's really unfair.
Jada's always been honest about her feelings.
Yeah.
Well, apparently she was very honest and so honest to the point that, she was crying walking down the aisle, from what I understand. But like I said, that's just kind of whetting the appetite. I think there really is something that I want to talk about on another day and have us go in.
Don't worry. Jada will give us plenty to talk about.
So
it ain't going nowhere. She's about to go on tour.
Is it as interesting to you guys as it is to me how explosive some of these tell-all books, these memoirs that these women are writing are? Kerry Washington talking about her sperm donor father. You have Jada exposing all of her marriage or not marriage to Will. And now the latest, Britney Spears is talking about Justin Timberlake. And it's just like, wow, I guess you got to talk about this kind of stuff.
Well, no, because the publishers tell them, like, hey, there's not enough stuff in here. Give me something. And we need to sell this book
really
with.
sell.
But
they're selling the book.
But
absolutely.
the thing about it is, if you go,
this day and age, it's necessary.
I remember when I was a kid, and I didn't really understand what they were talking about, but to hear about all the old 70s and 80s actresses putting their books out or being on, this is when the magazines and the tabloids were gods back then, and they had the image of control. Too, and exactly. So I'm like, these kind of books and these kind of stories have always come out, have always been page turners and reason for people to read books. This has always been the reason.
Yeah, and to buy those books, which are more expensive now than they were back then. And as Renita mentions Kirk Franklin and his dad too. Let's talk about some trending topics. This story just broke my heart, and I'm sorry, Yolanda, it's about a Chicago area student. But this is really tragic.
And I got to tap out, guys.
Okay.
But
you gonna pay $20 to park in somebody's yard, or I'm talking back in the
I'm finding one of them blocks right now. All right.
When Damon put on his glasses,
it's dark out here and I'm driving. I was trying to play it off as long as I could. That would have been great TV to see me run into something.
No, we don't want that.
He's almost there, folks. He is almost there. Appreciate
All right, Damon, have fun.
All right, Damon.
Love you guys. Later.
You too. Take care. This is another shooting on a historically Black college. A Chicago area student was killed in a shooting at Jackson State University over the weekend. Jalen Burns, an industrial technology student from the south suburbs, was killed at the Mississippi campus, Jackson State, during homecoming weekend. Described as an ambitious and bright young man from the Chicago area, fatally shot while trying to break up a fight at an apartment complex on the campus. According to the school and his father, 21-year-old Jalen, an industrial tech student in his last year at Jackson State, was taken to a hospital after reports of shots fired at the University Point apartment complex. He was shot while trying to break up a fight. One of his fraternity brothers, he was an alpha man, got into an argument with a woman who was also a student, and she called 3 guys in to support her, and one of whom had a gun. The fight did not last for any more than 10 seconds before one of the men, the student called, pulled a gun and shot Jalen. And those who had been a part of the fighting, they ran. Another student started driving Jalen to the hospital, but stopped when he found a police officer who called an ambulance. He was responsive in the ambulance, but doctors were unable to save him when he got to the hospital. His father said that his son was responsible, ambitious, intelligent his whole life, making the dean's list every year at Jackson State. And he was excited about graduating, starting his career, and planning to get a master's degree. And he just wanted to be successful. He was going to be a born leader. He went to high school in Country Club Hills. And his father said he had the opportunity to attend West Point, but chose Jackson State, which he loved for the experience of attending an HBCU. Guns. Stop it. Just stop it.
I remember when I went off to school. I remember, and it was like about 3-4 hours away from where I lived at the time. And I remember my mother like breaking down, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I was just like, I'm like 3 hours away. I'm not really that far. I'll be back, but I'm not living under her roof anymore. You know what I'm saying? And you hear these stories, and you hear these stories, and you think about these parents who send their kids off to get an education, and they're in a different part of the country. Now, this is Chicago to Mississippi. That's a whole different world.
Straight I-57 run too.
Exactly, but it's a trip. You know what I'm saying, to get down there, and to hear that your child is dead from gun violence. And I know they didn't live in the city, and they lived in the south suburbs of Chicago. But still Chicago, and you send them away to go. They go away, and they still end up, being killed because of gun violence. It's got to be a lot, and it makes me understand why you see so many parents be so emotional when they got to let their babies go, when they have to let their child go to be on their own, to do to go to school, to be, to say, okay, I'm letting you go now.
Yeah,
it hits so hard when you hear these stories.
This is
and
also,
Cameron, check it out, Cameron. Look at this. His mother. This is how life is. His mother said some of the family traveled to Jackson for homecoming weekend to celebrate everything her son had accomplished. And just hours after she said her goodbyes and prepared to travel back to Illinois, that's when she got the news. So they were together.
And she had just left him.
Yeah.
Man, I have a friend who had the daughter that's at Jackson State, and she was down there for homecoming as well. And it's crazy.
Yeah, it's terrible knowing that this is the kind of guy who did everything right.
Yeah.
And he had a plan to get out the hood, right? To get out of Chicago and make something of himself, and yet it still found him anyway.
And he was just trying to help his fraternity brother.
Yeah, and he was just doing the right thing.
He's doing the right thing. Yeah. Stopping a fight. God bless him. And God bless his mother and father.
Absolutely.
There was a little bit of drama, not much, on Capitol Hill today. We still don't have a Speaker of the House.
Still speakerless.
Alerts.
and neither did Jim Jordan.
No,
it's been since October 3rd, I believe, that they took the job away from McCarthy, voted him out of position. House Republicans nominated the chair of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, who, as they pointed out, Democrats pointed out in their nomination of Hakeem Jeffries, he has never sponsored a bill, has never passed a bill in all his years in the House. He is one who wanted to start an impeachment inquiry into the presidency of Joe Biden and has never acknowledged the presidency of Joe Biden.
So what does he do?
He goes and collects a check, like a lot of these politicians do, man. And what's going on?
Does he even know how to congressman?
No.
No.
You don't even know what the job requirements are, man. Like the problem is that we have these people playing. It's like almost like playing house with our lives. You know what I'm saying? And I've used this analogy before, where it's like you see your parents arguing and constantly, fighting each other, and the only person that really gets hurt is the kids. We the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like the American public is the kids, and you have this infighting, and not only now with this is not your parents fighting. This is your dad fighting with his brothers.
Right.
The uncles have come over and they start arguing in front of the house, and your mom's like, "Can we please just settle down?
Come on in the house. Come on."
This array now, it is completely idiotic. Like this is
crazy.
The fact that they kicked the Speaker of the House out. You have the Ukraine situation going on. You have the Israel situation going on. We have 25 days before
the country stops working again. Yes.
And this is the time they want to play around with the Speaker of the House.
Actually, it's 1 month from today, the 17th.
This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And then on top of that, what really pisses me off, even though I understand why they're doing it, the Democrats are going to use this as a rallying cry just to say, do you see? Do you see? Yep. Do you see what they're doing? Do you see what they're doing? Which is not really trying to solve any problems. They're just trying to show, hey, the GOP is all messed up. Make sure you vote for us.
Right. Yeah.
Next election. But they're really, I don't see them actually doing anything.
Well, I've heard, Med, that they really are trying to extend, the olive leaf of bipartisanship. And the Republicans are like, no, we got this. No, you don't have it.
You don't.
217 people.
Because
they don't like you.
You still have people pissed that McCarthy's out.
Yep.
McCarthy ain't running again. He can't win. He can't get enough votes. If the people
they think that Jordan's a weasel.
But what's the dude that dude dropped out before? Salisi?
Him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they said, well, he ain't gonna get it because we don't want him. They got Mr. Jim Jordan in here. Well, we don't like him, so we're not gonna vote for him. It's like, what are we doing? What are we
What are
doing?
you doing?
What are we doing? And it feels like it happens every 2 years. Every 2 years it happens.
And so they go back and they, he caucuses a little bit more. And some of the people, okay, well, maybe I won't vote for McCarthy this time. Maybe I won't vote for Scalise this time. Maybe I won't vote for a guy who's not even in Congress.
Oh, Trump?
Yeah.
No, this is the congressman from New York. 3, 4, 5 people voted for him. He ran for governor, didn't run for re-election in the Congress. He ain't been there.
Yeah.
Come on. And people wonder why public trust in the government is so low.
This is what they do. And then on top of that, we're not, because we don't know who these people are, to be honest with you. Because the reason why, and I just want everybody to understand this, the reason why you hear guys talk about they're trying to be loud, they want the media attention, is because they know that the only reason that you guys know who they are is because you see them on the news.
Yep.
Because do you know how many people in the house there are? There's a lot of people in the house who you don't know at all, but have been there for years.
Yep.
You just don't know who they are because they don't make a lot of noise.
Yep.
Shout out to my man, Mr. Jefferson out in North Carolina.
You know what? I DM'd him and he has not responded to me.
Me too. Don't even worry about it. Oh no, we're gonna get him. That's my guy. That's my guy. But there's so many people in the house that we just don't know because they don't make the noise, but they're the ones that are working. And it's just so obvious that they know that if they keep their face on camera, y'all gonna know who they are, and it's gonna mean something because when you go vote, you're gonna go vote by names that you know,
right?
Not because what they're doing, because you don't know what they're doing, because you're not paying attention to what they're doing. You don't know what they're voting for. You're going based off of the names that you've heard enough. You're like, okay, I've heard of that person before, boop, or you're just going DNR down the line, however you do it.
And what do they know Jim Jordan for? As being one who was a part of the insurrectionist movement in January of 2021.
Let's put him in the seat.
Yeah. Let's put him in, and then who's endorsed by Donald Trump and has never passed a bill. Come on, what? Okay. So they may be voting tomorrow. They couldn't get it together for tonight, and so the money is, how many rounds do you think? The money is on the question, how many rounds?
Ooh.
That's a good question, because the thing is, I don't think you're not going to be able to put that poisonous pill in there anymore.
Right.
That's done. You can't.
Right.
And that's why I was like, Gates, you really wanted to use it now?
Mm-hmm.
You had the power and you use it now. That's not the best time to use it, sir.
No.
Like you pulled the Joker out for, like, why? You know what I'm saying?
And his wife has said that a time or two too. So thank you very much.
Let's go to the phones.
So how long do you think it'll go, even without the poison pen, without the that one vote, one trick Gates?
Ooh.
Will it go 5? Will he drop out before it goes much longer?
That's a good thing, Sybil. No one wants that embarrassment.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that bad to go through what McCarthy wanted to see.
Oh my God, he wanted
McCarthy wanted that
against
seat.
all else. Yeah.
Nobody else wants to see that bad. They don't want to see that bad. No one wants to see that bad. That's why they're dropping out before we can even get there. They're like, I don't even want to deal with this.
At least like, I got cancer. I don't need any more heartaches.
Yeah. I don't even know why you'd want to see when you have cancer. That speed up the
even when your health is good. Yeah.
You get people talking in your ear saying that they'll support you and so on and so forth, and you just get conned into doing it. I'd give them a couple more rounds though. I probably until doomsday before shutdown for sure.
Boom, that's where it is. They're gonna wait till the last minute. They're gonna wait. I don't think we're gonna have a speaker until November.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't think they're gonna get it done anytime soon because they can't decide on it. And then when it's time to get things done, then it'll be we're gonna put the speaker in. We're gonna do the budget. Oh, here's some money for Israel. Boom, 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 boom.
So they have to give more power to this speaker pro tem because all he's got is a nice little bow tie. He is as powerless as can be. So they
Yeah.
got to give him something so they can get some things done, because you got, like you said, you got Israel, you got Ukraine, and you got the government ready to shut down.
The
What
only
are you
power
gonna
he
Yeah,
got
they
is
might
how
do
hard he can
the
swing that gavel.
emergency powers thing first,
Yeah, for sure.
just to at least get the spending bill off of the docket.
And I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to give him that. If you think about it, I don't even think they want to give him a
Because Jim
taste.
Jordan doesn't even want that. I mean, he doesn't
Mm-mm.
want to give anything to this Democratic president. So
Hey, when in doubt, hold the country hostage.
there you go. There you go.
That's the Republican
Let's move
playbook.
to entertainment. Congratulations to my friend, Queen of the White House Correspondents, April Ryan. Her beautiful fairy tale wedding was highlighted by People, and she called it her second chance love story. April wed James Ewing over the weekend, began her happily ever after. The pictures are phenomenal.
April Ryan got married?
Yeah, yep, she got
Okay.
married this weekend.
All right.
To a former military man, and her daughters were part of the wedding, and so was our friend John Murray, and said it was absolutely lovely. It looked like a good time.
I swear to God, John Murray got to know everybody. That
John
man
does.
is friends with everybody.
Yeah, he really is.
It's amazing.
If this were a world of Rolodexes, he would have several, popped up in front of him.
It's amazing. It honestly is amazing.
Oh, yeah, they look beautiful.
Yeah, really, a really lovely picture, and just a good time. And I'm so happy for her. Nobody deserves happiness like April Ryan does. So congratulations, my friend. And we will close with our jewel, our daily inspiration. Free your mind from the judgment of others. It doesn't matter what they say. Okay. All right.
I'm telling you, Yogi been making me sing "Free Your Mind" all week with her.
theme.
Yo, I'm like, free your mind every single day. Free your mind.
We can put that underneath when we do the jewel in the audio portion of the newsletter.
Free your mind.
You know what? That would make Yolanda might make Yolanda kind of happy. It would drive Chica crazy. Okay, so let's work on that. All right, all right, you guys. Thanks so much. Welcome back, Damon, and nice to see you, Damon. You guys, I'll see you again soon. Take care. Be good to each other. Aloha.